Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John, and thank you so much for watching. After a kind of track I covered yesterday, I've kind of got myself into a bit of a dance groove, I guess. And there's not many bands can reinvent themselves, reinvent the song, and still just have, I don't know, one of the great dance trance tracks of that late 80s, 90s period. We'll play some, we'll play a few versions, and we'll talk about it. If you haven't got headphones on, I'd get them on, turn it up loud. Okay. Bill Drummond, Jimmy Cauty, sometimes known respectively as King Boy D and Rockman Rock, created a kind of an unusual, I guess, mix. They'd both been in the music business for some time. They kind of came together. They started a band called the Timelords. Then they became the Jams, or the Justified Ancients of Mumu, which I think came from the Illuminatus trilogy of books. They released tracks under the name KLF, or the KLF, and this was one of them, and it's called What Time Is Love. And this was the original, I guess, trance version from 1988. Now, they were unusual people, and still are in many ways. So this was the original trance version, and I'm going to put all the links in the description because there's a few things. They then kind of remixed the track in, I think, 1990, I think it was, with a kind of Trancentral version, and I'm going to play that. This is a version from a television program in the UK, possibly more familiar.
The lyrics will flow, yo, for the words I speak. Rap is weak, so I teach and I reach a positive vibe, a way of life is how I'm living. So get hyped to the rhythm. KLF is the crew you hear, yeah. Design a rhyme I just won't fear. Back to react, enough is enough. Let me ask you a question. What time is love? What time is love? What time is love? What time is love?
Now, this is probably the version I suspect that most people will have heard, and probably was the most catchy because it had kind of lyrics and fitted with that kind of, with the whistles, with that kind of dance generation. But as I say, it started as this original trance version. There's another American version that we'll come to. Now, Bill Drummond, Scottish really, although he was born in South Africa, family moved back to Scotland. He moved into England, various things like that. Jimmy Cauty was born near Liverpool, which is in the north of England. And I guess they had an unusual take on things. And behind a lot of the things that they were doing, there was this kind of anarchic, situationist type appearance and group of activities. Let's get back to the track.
Let an MC come in effect with King Boy D. I'm gonna be, old time sucker. You know the time, I never stutter. A beat, a dream, and yet see bright. Yeah, pass the mic. What time is love? What time is love? What time is love? What time is love?
Now, at the back in the keyboards there was Bill Drummond in the white t-shirt and Jimmy Cauty in the black t-shirt. And in the lyrics, they reference K-Boy D, which was King Boy D, which was Drummond's kind of alternative ego type name. So that was a version they released in 1990, which was the kind of Trancentral version. And had all that kind of elements of kind of, the UK dance scene that was happening at the time. Different to the 88 version. They then went one step further. And in 1991, released America, What Time Is Love?
In the year of our Lord, 992.
I should say this isn't the official video. This is the video that somebody's put together, which has got some great shots of New York in it.
The lyrical prophet, just can't stop it. The way I drop it and change the topic. Get hyped to the tongue of a native. And so creative, KLF made it. We came a long time ago. 992, but you did not know. See, if you think that the going gets tough, just remember, what time is love? What time is love? What time is love? I wanna see you sweat.
Now, obviously, they had many collaborators, Isaac Bell, Orville Gardner, various other sorts of people who helped them. But in this American version, you can hear there's a more of a kind of guitar, American guitar sound in there to give it that feel, and this kind of whoa-wee-heave-ho. Because in the official video, there's this kind of ancient Viking-style bolt going over to America.
Just remember, what time is love? What time is
Now, as I say, all the links are in the description. Now, KLF were, and the Justified Ancients of Moo Moo, and they were incredibly successful in that sort of early 90s period. And they produced some great dance music, videos. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, because they also became famous for this burning of £1 million or $1 million, and there was this great spectacle of this, and I think that came from really their I suppose perspective on what was called the kind of situationists at the time, and what was known to them as the spectacle, which was really this concept of almost living, human life being lived by proxy through this kind of ubiquitous advertising world, creating kind of consumerism, and the belief that you lived your life through this proxy of consuming things, and that you bowed at the altar of the kind of market economy, and that accruing money was the thing to be revered. And so what the situationists did was create events that ridiculed this, or brought it to people's attention that stop, think, what is this world of consumerism? And I think that's where their $1 million burning came from. So there's a lot mixed in with these people. They're not just musicians. They often have different messages, I guess. Now, I wanted to just finish with a live version. And just because I think this one needs the headphones, because once the bass kicks in, it really gets you. So pick the version that you prefer. Whether it's the 1998 instrumental pure trance version, the kind of 1990 Trancentral version, or the American version. But the KLF, What Time Is Love? They were the sound of the 90s in many ways, both through the KLF and the Justified Ancients of Moo Moo, or the Jams as they were known. Just great, great sounds, great times, and still, even now, great to dance to. Thank you so much for watching.